Hey guys, welcome back to the shop and welcome back to sunny Malta. It's hot. So today I'm going to wire the pickups and controls of the guitar. But first of all, before prepping up the tools, I need to drill hole for the jack, which I already did off camera because I forgot to do it before the finish. So let's roll the intro and we can begin. Okay, let's have a look now at the tools and supplies that I'll be using. And I just want to say something as well. Yes, I'm going to solder the guitar, but I would take advantage of share my tips and tricks regarding to soldering with you guys with this video. Now, first of all, I like to use a nice quality soldering iron. This is a 60-watt soldering iron and it does the job very well. Now, after that, the most thing, in my opinion, important in a good soldering job is to have a good quality solder. This, with a cheap soldering iron, you can go without, but with the cheap soldering material, with cheap solder, you can't go by. I mean, I'm talking by experience. Cheap solder, it won't stick to nothing. Now this is the most important. After that, I like to use some flux. This is not essential for any particular job, but it makes the experience much more pleasurable. And but I like this. It's shiny. And what I like to use as well is some sort of helping aid. Now this is something I built it myself. It has two crocodile clips for wake holding, and on the other side it has a computer fan that literally sucks the fumes from the front and push it out at the back. And trust me, something like this, if you're planning to spend the whole day soldering stuff, this will help a lot. Okay guys, so the first tip that I want to share with you is to, whenever possible, make a copy of the control cavity. Literally, you make a template. You can solder some components while they are on the template, instead of having all your parts in the control cavity and soldering inside the cavity. For this particular job, I'm working literally with a plate, so I mounted everything straight away on the plate. First thing is to put some solder on the actual pots, is to solder the grounds of the circuit. Now, before we put actual solder, it's important that we rub a bit, we sand a bit the pot, so there is some, so the solder has where to grab. Now, before putting the solder, I like to put a drop of flux on top of the pot where I'm going to put some solder. Solder wire. Solder iron. And the trick here is to heat the area and then go with the solder. And that's it. Again, if you have a good quality solder, you don't have any problems. Now, what I did, I forgot to put on the fan. Now, the next step is to short one connection of the volume pot. I like to bend the hand to the body. Again, soldering iron, with some heat. And that's it. So now I need a wire from one connection to the tone to this of the volume. When soldering a wire, I like to do a mechanical joint as well. So basically, I get the end of the wire and make a loop with the hand. So besides solder, there is even a mechanical joint. The wire I'm using is already soldered. It has already solder on it, on the cores. It's a cloth type wiring. And I don't need shielded wire because everything is shielded. The cavity is shielded, even this plate. Again, heat to the joint. And then you just drop a drop of solder. Now, straight cutter. This goes to the pot, to the volume pot. Now this will be a bit tricky. And again, I'll do a loop. So there is a nice mechanical joint as well. Now, I'm not soldering this joint because I need to put the hot of the switch, which we can do now. And for now, I'm not putting solder because I need to solder another wire from the pickup on this same connector. Just to let you know, this is a 1 volume 1 tone 5-way switch, which I will having neck position, 1 full humbucker, single. The next one will be a single coil on the neck, both pickups, single coil on the bridge, and the full bridge. And believe me, it was very difficult, and I'm still surprised, to find a proper wiring diagram for this configuration. I spent like a whole day searching for it. Now put the capacitor for the tone. If some of you doesn't know, the capacitor doesn't like much heat. So what I'll do, I like to put a crocodile clip between the capacitor itself and the joint that I'm going to solder. So it acts like a heatsink, basically. In this case, I like to put some flux. And then I just go with the so I'm trying to get a good angle. And if you can, while soldering a joint, don't breathe on it. I mean, if you can hold your breath while you're doing, it's better because if it cools, if you breathe into it, it can result into a bad joint. This was something a professional told me once. And this is mostly what I can do with this plate. Now, before I put this plate into the body and continue to solder the rest, what I like to do is to wire the jack beforehand as well. Same principle. Loop, and put some flux. Oops, I did a mistake. I put the hot one onto the ground. In this case, if you do a mistake like I did, I take this pump, heat up the joint, and remove the excess solder. And then I pull everything out. And redo the joint again, this time on the correct connection. Kids building guitars is fun. And everything goes good. Which sometimes doesn't. The fun had just died. I don't know why. We're back in business. Ground. And this, it can go into the guitar. Now, the jack can goes in if I find the hole. I like to put something, of course, to protect the body. That's very important. And start to wire everything. Sometimes I will talk in Maltese with myself, so and then that is normal. So if you guys are a bit worried about that, it's fully normal. Now, so the hot goes in the middle of the volume pot. Now, I like to give some slack regarding the wiring to the jack, because when I want to replace the jack, I need to pull this out, and if I don't have enough room, I will not reach the connections. This will be enough. Again, loop, flux, soldering iron, and solder, and the jack hot output is done. Yes, next we can do the ground of the jack. Goes on the volume pot. Grounds is better, you go everything on one pot. Now, in this case I like to loop it into the eye of the one which I soldered on the body. Like so. Some flux. Ooh, too much. And the ground of the jack is good as well. I need a ground from the tone to the volume. I'm using a crocodile clip to help out, to help holding everything together. I do apologize for the camera angle. I'm trying to do the best I can. The secret of soldering is to have both the wire and the surface you're going to solder the wire to heated at the same time, and then pouring the solder, feeding the solder onto that heated area. If you have both heated at the same time, the solder joint will be much stronger. Now I can put the ground of the bridge. It goes in here. Again, all grounds preferably goes at the same point. Now, pickups. Yes, it's a good practice to label the wire right after you install the pickups. But since I have one long and one short, I can assume that the longer one is the bridge one and the shorter one is the neck pickup. This is a 4-core, 5-core, 4-core underground wire humbucker. These are humbuckers from Sumac. They're good and they're not expensive. So now what I need to do is to connect the wiring of the pickups to the switch. And that's it. I will wire everything off camera. No, basically the basics, I've covered them. Yeah, I will wire everything off camera for the rest, because here it's quite hot and the camera is not having fun. And I will see you when I finish the switch. Okay guys, I finished wiring the pickups, and since I don't have strings, the best way to try if the wiring went well is to tap on the actual pickups with something metallic. So if I have the neck, second position, neck single coil, middle I should have neck single coil and bridge single coil. The fourth position, bridge single coil, and final position, bridge full humbucker. So wiring is okay. Now it's time to put everything inside. I like to keep the wiring of the humbucker as long as possible. I don't know if I ever need to reuse the pickups. I will have full length. It's quite tight, and I want to make sure that the wiring of the switch, they don't touch. Hey, they fit. Kind of screws. Okay, appears I have guessed. I need to close this now. So that's it. Everything's working just fine. Finally, just need to arrange a bit the wiring because it's still a bit prone. Yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you liked it, enjoyed it, and there's something from it. Next up, I will level the frets, finishing up the neck, and string the guitar and put everything together. So, until the next time, take care and bye bye.